Luke Thomas in New York City at the Bellator MMA Media Day alongside a man who needs no introduction, former UFC light heavyweight champion, and now the Bellator light heavyweight next to be. That's sort of what I want to talk about. Rampage Jackson, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Good. You seem like a very good mood. When I saw you in Memphis, I think there's a lot more pressure weighing on you. You seem more relaxed this time.
Yeah, you probably saw me when I was cutting weight. That was the day of the was that the day of the weigh-in or the day before the weigh-in?
Day before the weigh-in,
yeah, man.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Have you never done it before?
No, I never cut weight.
I think people should try it just so they can experience, so they can know what we go through.
How much weight do you cut?
I'm not telling you. It's a lot.
As much as you used to? Like, there's always a number, or has the number changed over the years?
Actually, it's gotten less over the years. I died down a little bit more. It's not that bad now.
So I saw on I think I saw on Instagram that you were recently at Comic-Con in San Diego.
I was at Comic-Con.
I've never been. I've always wanted to go. Is it bananas? What's it like?
It's bananas. You should most definitely go with Zangief, man. I'm telling you, dog.
I should go with Zangief?
You should go. You should do the cosplay, dress up like Zangief. Get some of your other friends to do some street fighting. Get your little Asian girl to be Kung Lee. Or is it Chung? It's Kung.
I don't know. I haven't played in years.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I saw that you actually just bought the video game console and put it in your house too, right?
I never put it in my gym. One of my friends owned like a video game arcade company. He made me a Street Fighter game like outside the Street Fighter case, but he put over 500 games on there. So I got a lot of games from my childhood. I used to go to the arcade and play.
How come you don't realize that Mortal Kombat is better than Street Fighter 2?
I don't like Mortal Kombat because listen, I like Mortal Kombat, but what I don't like about Mortal Kombat is all the fatalities. It's so hard to do all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's what makes it exciting.
No. It's you know that the game. You know that it's something out there that you could do, but it's so hard to press all the buttons to do it. That makes me not like it that much. I like Mortal Kombat, though. Don't get me wrong.
Well, listen. Let's talk about your career now. I mentioned it when I introduced you. You were scheduled before all the craziness happened to face Emanuel Newton. Now, well, you had won the tournament, and he was the champion. So
I never said I was going to fight him.
Well, that's what I'm sort of asking. That was what the tournament set up. Are you glad now that the tournament's gone and you don't have to make that happen?
I never said. No one never said that I was forced to fight him. Me and him got the same coach. We're not teammates. We train together when off season, but we don't like train together. But I've trained with the kid for years, so I was like, I hope him the best, but I'm not looking forward to fighting my buddy. He come over to my pool parties. He come to my amateur show. We got the same coach. We got the same friends. That would really mess up my training camp who's the guy's going to train with? We got all the same training partners. Who's the guy's going to train with? Who is my coach going to coach? Is it worth it just for a belt? And I've got plenty of belts. Is it worth another belt and losing friendship with somebody I've been friends with for like over 10 years? Is it worth it?
But irrespective of you, are you glad that tournaments have basically been eliminated from Bellator? Not even your situation, just the whole structure.
I'm saying, I'm here to fight. Like, whatever Bellator want to do, they want to have tournaments. They can have tournaments. They don't want to have tournaments. They don't have tournaments. I'm glad to be here putting on shows.
I did see on Instagram, and I think it was cleared up later, that when it was announced that Bjorn was just removed, however that happened, you weren't necessarily happy about it. But I also saw that you had met with Coker, I think, on Friday. Right. All right, so how did that go? And I guess my question is, why were you, apprehensive or suspicious about the whole thing?
Because I have a close relationship with the promoters. That's how I am. If we do business together, we're going to have a close relationship. That's just the type of person I am. And one day he's there, and another day he's not. And I didn't know anything. I'm like, wow, what's going on? And
you felt like you should have been kept in the loop?
Well, no, I just, it's just like, I'm pretty sure other people felt the same. Like, wow, what's going on? No one knew. My manager didn't know. No one knew. They don't got to keep me in a loop, but I'm gonna have a weird reaction when I find out that somebody I work with, and you talk to him one day, then tomorrow you find out that he's no longer working with you. You're gonna be like, wow, what's going on? And then I get filled in that Scott Coker's man, and I've never formally met Scott Coker and stuff before, and then I meet him and he's cool. I hear good things about it. I do what I do, which is called street Google. I street Googled him.
How does one street Google?
man, you got to hit the streets and you know what I'm saying, ask people. You got to talk like, hey, man, you know Scott Coker, man, what's up? You can't just, you know, you can type it in Wikipedia, man. Anybody can put stuff on Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff on me on Wikipedia. I'm like, man, this is not true. You know, none of this, you know, so I street Googled him. I heard good things about him.
When you met him personally, how did the conversation go? I mean, what did you guys talk about, and were your fears put to bed?
I didn't have any fears. I said I didn't want to, you know, when I was thinking about retiring because, hell, I'm 36. I'm always thinking about retiring. I'm looking like, wow, is it time for me to walk away now? So I ain't have no fears. I ain't worried about nothing. Trust me.
How about Bjorn Rebney? Everyone I talk to here sort of has mixed responses. Mo, not necessarily the greatest response, but everyone else is like, they give him credit for building what eventually Scott Coker took over. You seem to have a very close relationship with Bjorn, at least had one. How would you characterize the relationship you had with Bjorn when he was running Bellator?
Well, you know, me and Bjorn had a really good relationship. I felt like he understood fighters, and I see that he had a vision. And I still don't know what happened between him and Bellator and stuff like that. And you know, I haven't been briefed on that. It's probably over my pay raise. I don't know. I think he's a good guy.
Have you spoken to him since?
No comments.
Do you believe Bellator is now in a better place and a better position to grow?
No comments. I'm joking. I think it's good, man. I've heard good things. I think it's gonna be good, man.
You seem very relaxed over here.
Happy, man. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm not cutting weight today. You only met me one time. I guess first impressions is
We've met a number of times. You've just forgotten them all.
oh, my bad.
Everyone does it. It's quite all right.
My bad, Zangief.
I know you would think with a face like this, like Zangief, you'd be a little more.
Yeah.
But I guess
I didn't have the hairy beard the other couple times.
not as much. No,
Listen, well, people don't understand how many people you think I meet a day.
dozens, hundreds.
Just think about it.
No, I'm serious. Like, I'm not mad that you don't remember me.
Okay.
It's just not true. That's the first time I met
I
you.
apologize, but some people get mad that I don't remember them. I'm like, you know, I used to remember everybody. I used to remember kids I went to elementary with, and they didn't remember me. I remember before I was an MMA fighter. And, you know, like I see kids I went to elementary school with, and we're in high school now. I'm like, what's up, Shakisha? What's up? What's up? You remember me? She's like, no, I don't remember y'all. Like, man, we had Miss Bumpers together. We sat right here. I used to remember everybody. I was that guy.
What's the problem with Shakisha?
Shakisha, she just didn't remember me because back then I was a nobody, you know. I was a little ugly little kid, you know, poor little kid, and he didn't have swag, and I wasn't a popular kid, so she was probably popular, but I remembered everybody back then.
Do you think if Shakisha saw you today, she would recognize you?
She wouldn't, no, because only dudes recognize me. I only get dudes that recognize me.
Is MMA fandom is MMA celebrity? I mean, you've been in A-team stuff too, but like the majority of your name comes from MMA. Is that the worst kind of popularity? Because it's mostly dudes, right?
Well, I'm not going to say anything negative about it, but can you imagine dudes want to buy you drinks when you go to a club? Can you imagine you walking through the airport and dudes want to fucking take pictures of you the whole time? Do you imagine you walk?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just completely one-sided.
Well, I'm an alpha, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I love my fans. I shouldn't talk about it because you guys don't understand.
I don't understand. That's true.
So I'm not gonna talk about it. I've finally realized it's no way to make you guys understand. But I just wish that you guys could just walk in my shoes just for a week, and then you know, like I'm an alpha. I love everybody. I love my fans. No fans, no sport. But you got to remember, when I first started MMA, it wasn't as popular as it is now. You understand that?
I do understand that, yes. Before we let you go here, you're not competing on this September card. Have they told you when you're going to be back? Have they given you it sounds like some of the heavy hitters are coming back in the fall, September, October. Have they said anything to you about that?
No comments.
Okay, how about this? Last question. If you could come back at any time you wanted and you had an opponent to pick, who would it be?
No comments.
Rampage, no comment Jackson. We're just going to drop Quinton and give you a new no comment nickname.
No, it's good.
All right, well, on that bit of gibberish, thank you for your time, Rampage. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much, Zangief. You're the man.